cave. It looks so sketchy. My video camera. What's up, nature? I love this part. It's been a couple days. I've basically just been in the studio really working. I haven't made, like I said earlier, I didn't make any music in December, and I've been kind of getting it all out. I've been making music in Logic X again. Logic again. It's like my first real time kind of diving into Logic X. I did the Disfiguring the Goddess album, Blacker Child, in Logic X, but it was like I just made the record and I didn't like screw around with Logic X too much. But it's been nice. I've been getting into a groove. I can feel all my, you know, patterns coming back, which is nice. You know, if you take up time while producing, it takes a little bit to, like, I guess, feel the flow easier, you know, as far as how to, like, get ideas going real quick. Like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I was kind of like an idea a day, and now I can kind of, like, in the beginning of the day, get like 3 things down. Life's good right now. Living at my parents' house for like another 2 weeks before my house closes. My house is supposed to close before February. I think like the 28th of January, which would be sick, because then I can get into my own place. I'm looking for roommates though. I've got one locked, and I need one more. And I have no idea who, and I'm kind of worried about it. Not worried, but just concerned, I guess. But I'm getting kind of antsy, you know. Like yesterday, it kind of started to set in a little bit. I was getting antsy. I couldn't really, like, I wasn't feeling well to begin with, and I was like, couldn't really focus on music, meaning like I couldn't like dive into the track. It was kind of a track I've already started before, and I don't know, I just kind of ended the day playing some GTA 5, which is a great game. It actually makes me uncomfortable a few times. I'll get into it later, but yeah, I'm just, you know, antsy is like, it's kind of like jitters for no reason, and I guess it's pretty much anxiety. I'm not saying I have like a load of anxiety right now. I'm just kind of getting antsy. I think it's because I'm in that midway point between moving to Reno and staying at my parents' house. It's just kind of like catching up to me in a negative way, even though I should really just kind of breathe and chill out, you know? Which is why today, this is Sunday, a really nice Sunday. It's 64 degrees in January, which is kind of a bust. But I'm driving out to the Pine Nuts, which I think I've talked about in a past video, which is basically just the mountains on the east side of the Carson Valley. I love the Pine Nuts because they're kind of more like the deserty, continuous high desert mountains. Like, it's desert, but they're also mountains, you know. And in the past few years, I really got into going and shooting guns out there, first off. But then after a while, I just wouldn't really shoot the guns that much. I would just kind of like go on these long walks and explore. And now when I go out there, I just go out there just like simply to explore. I always bring a gun, like I've got my 30-30 here, which I'll show you guys. It's a really sweet gun, but my grandpa gave it to me actually. But I'm just gonna go walk around the desert and kind of like be a little cowboy out there, I guess. There's something about exploring and like that kind of no man's land feeling. I like having the gun with me just because it's like it's hard to explain because I've always liked guns and I'm always kind of like why wouldn't I have a gun kind of guy, you know? But I would not want to be out here without one, if that makes any sense. It probably doesn't, but you know, hey, here's where I'm at right now. I'm driving on a dirt road. I'm in my little Golf. I drive a Volkswagen Golf, and I love it. I know I had it when I was doing CamEveryDay, there's no doubt. But yeah, I still love it. It's a great car. I recommend Volkswagens. I'll probably get Volkswagens forever. German engineering. I think as far as dream cars go, I want a cheap Wrangler really bad, so I can do this stuff really easy, because this is not cutting it for desert exploring. I'm basically just gonna drive out here until I can't take my car any further, then I'm gonna park it and start walking. Like, we're still kind of close to stuff, like there's a ranch right there, but you get past these hills and it's really, really open, and it's really vast, and there's all kinds of neat stuff out there. Like, I run into wild horses a lot. Those are wild horses. There's all kinds of animals way out there too, including like predators and stuff. There's mountain lions and bobcats out there for sure, but they're really elusive and you'll never see them. But I love coming out here all in all, because it really feels like you're really out here, and it's a fantastic release for me. And since I'm feeling a little antsy and kind of like impatient, I guess, I feel like I've come out here and get kind of leveled out, you know? It's kind of like, you know, there's that whole like go in the desert and find yourself kind of stuff. And you say that, and I think a normal person thinks you're instantly a weirdo or like a crazy hippie person. So I always get a really nice natural rush, not natural rush, but natural like easing of the mind, body, and soul, I guess. We'll go there, from being out in nature, you know. And there's all different kinds of nature too. Like I remember when I lived in Huntington Beach, I used to go surfing a lot, probably like every other day. And I wasn't even that great of a surfer. It was just kind of like, I just would try and get out, you know. As long as you get out in the water, like, you go out for like 30 minutes. I lived with my aunt. She lived right next to the beach on PCH. So it was really easy and not a big deal to do it, which made it really routine based for me. And it kind of became more about just being out in the water and whatnot. You know, when you're out there, it's like the ocean is a much different feeling than like the vast desert, I guess. I keep calling it desert, and you keep thinking like Arizona, I guess, and I don't like giving this area that connotation, I guess. It's kind of like a church in a way, you know. It's like a surfer's church, just being out in the water, and that's kind of how this is in a sense, you know, or anything, but just kind of talking about. Wait, where was I going with that? Son of a bitch. Son of a bitch. Defense. What does it say? Sick. So sick. But I feel like coming out here and walking around is just like it's like walking on steroids. And it's just like I don't know. When I was really bummed out in Seattle, and like, I didn't know I was particularly bummed out in Seattle until the end. I just know there was periods where I didn't feel like myself. Not that I felt off, I just didn't feel, I couldn't catch it. I couldn't see that I was off. I just like, I guess I just assumed things were normal, you know, but things weren't. And I would come back to Nevada, and I would just take that truck, and I would drive out here, and I would just like chill out, you know, every day. I would do, I'd bring a lot of guns, just because I didn't shoot a lot of guns in Seattle. There was a gun range I used to go to, and there was a few times I went out with my buddy into the Washington. There's this town called North Bend, and we drive past that like probably 30 minutes, and then we get to this nice sweet spot we had. I actually got some cool slow-mo videos of us shooting. I'll have to link you or put them in. This is what I was kind of nervous about. Looks fine. Everything's all dried up out here, which is nice. What I was worried about, because when it snows, this place gets all muddy and stuff. Well, when it snows or rains, you can get flash flooding out here really, really easy because these mountains are like you can see the dirt, but underneath the dirt is rock, and the water doesn't absorb into the ground very easy. So when it does rain, you get heavy rainfall, you get flash floods really, really quickly. And you can see how like this is from water, you know. So when the flash floods, this whole place just gets like swarmed with water. Right here, especially, you can see it. And you can come out here after a flash flood and see all the devastation. I came out here with my dad once after a flash flood, and it was sweet. You know, I just did like the hardest part, I think, of my truck, or not my truck, my car. Here's another car coming. What I like to do when you see cars or anyone out here is I like to wave. I feel like waving in general is good. Ooh, there's also sagebrush blowing in the wind. This is so funny. Howdy. We're doing it. But yeah, to kind of wrap up the whole why I like to come out here. Well, I already kind of wrapped up why I like to come out here, but I think the moral of the story is if you can find something that really kind of like helps you in a way, you know, like for me, it's being antsy, and to come out here kind of relieves that, kind of makes me feel mellow and down to earth again. Not that I wasn't down to earth yesterday, I just couldn't shake this antsy vibes. But if you can figure something out that works for you, and I'm just telling you mine, everyone's going to be different. Hopefully you find something, and when you find something, hopefully you realize it, because I think if you can realize what makes you happy, it's kind of a game changer for life. And I think a lot of people in their 20s struggle with understanding happiness on a real sense. You know, you're so aware in this decade, and you're so restless, and you don't have the best grip, I feel like, on a lot of things. I was not happy in Seattle, and I made the change, and I knew it was going to make me happy, and I went and did it, and I feel great about it. Defeat sanity. Yeah, I would encourage all you guys to, I don't know, I guess keep that in mind when you're trucking along your life. But like, see, now we're kind of getting out here and it looks sick. Whoa. You know, I feel like driving and talking is very sporadic. I think it's something I need to work on. Not driving and talking, or I need to work on, but being sporadic with my thoughts when I try and, like, I guess get deep. Like you guys are all saying I'm real deep, and I'm getting deep about all this stuff. And I like getting deep, you know, I like going to the deep end. I think it's to me, I think it's the best, you know, I feel the best talking about deep stuff. I love when you can connect on that deep level. And essentially right now I'm just kind of connecting with myself, although I know I'm broadcasting this to the internet at some point. Yeah, I think I need to get better at talking about thoughts, because I'll graze over all kinds of subjects, and after I'm done talking about them, I feel like I didn't get my point across, or didn't, like, you know, move efficiently, I guess, or I make too many tangents and don't wrap up the tangents correctly. And I think that's just gonna take me talking more. I think it's gonna be a while until I feel really good about it. And I think I just need to keep vlogging or doing this to improve it, you know? Which is kind of sucks, because I feel like I'm gonna make all these videos where I'm not totally nailing things. But I think a lot of the topics I went over today, I could, man, if I blew a tire out here, that'd be a bummer. I feel like all the topics I've been talking about, I could easily go back to a million times, you know? up, nature? It feels really good out here. It's a breeze, but I'm like getting hot in that car, so it feels awesome. Here's my 3030. It's all loaded up already. It's a Winchester 3030, aka the gun that won the West. This was a gift to me from my grandpa. This was my grandpa's for like 20 years. But he only shot it 2 times, and I've shot it a hell of a lot more than 2 times already. Fantastic gun. I actually don't know how accurate I am with it. I know I can like hit the target occasionally. But I think I need to spend more time with it. I'm not used to like that kind of rifle, I guess. I guess with my AR, it's kind of cheating because I got that red dot that's real accurate. But I'm gonna get my walk on. I'm gonna go explore this beautiful land. Take this back to civilization and stuff. Well, whoa. What the hell? That's where people dump tumbleweeds. And people dump trash. Trashy people dumping their trash. This always bums me out when you see people dumping out here. You know, this is gonna stay here forever. Forever, unless someone comes and takes it to a dump. Sick. I'm gonna cruise this riverbed though. It's a cave. It looks so sketchy. Oof, I know you guys want me to go up there. I really don't want to go in there. Let's see if I can see any trash. I see footprints and garbage. I'm worried I'm gonna see like a freaking bear or something. Here, let's do this. Trash bag moves and scares the hell out of me. That's like a full-on mountain lion. Crazy, creepy den. Wait. What the hell? It's a full-on cave. Not by myself. If I was with someone else, I think I'd have more courage, you know? Not just courage off someone else, but you'd also have someone else to watch your back. You know, not just to like look out for your back, but like 2 is always better than 1 when you're doing, you know, kind of like risky exploration things, I guess. Man, my glasses are totally, I gotta like tighten them up or just get new glasses. These frames are getting worked. But I got a cool story from my buddy Luke. Him, when he was younger, and some of his friends were out deer hunting out here, I think, and they were really, really far out here. I would say they said they drove an hour out here. That's really far. And then they were walking around and whatnot, and they saw, like in the side of the hill, not as big as that hole, but like a little, like perfectly cut hole, you know, like a little rectangle thing. And in it was like straight down, like 6 feet. It was pitch black in there. And they go in and it's an old mine. Now they have mines and stuff out here, but they blow them up because they're really dangerous, you know. They're like 150 years old from people who used to come out here and look for gold and silver way back in the day. And they're temporary structures to get, you know, minerals from the earth out. So they're really rickety, and people go in there and they die all the time because boards break or they fall to their deaths. And you know, so when the state finds them, they blow up the entrances. But this was one where it wasn't the main entrance. It was like another entrance or something. And they said there was like some tracks down a hallway, and then it just went straight down, and they like dropped a rock and like didn't hear it ping or whatever. And I think it's cool because there was an actual like little track system in there, and I would love, you know, going into those mines is probably like, it's so sketchy. Ooh, I'm getting a phone call. You know, speaking of the devil, that was Luke, the guy I was telling the story about. I said, hey, I'm talking about you. He goes, oh yeah, hopefully good things. And I was like, yeah, I was telling the story about the mine shaft. He goes, all right, cool. And he was like, what are you doing? Like walking around in the desert. He was like, oh yeah, with who? And I was like, just myself. And he's like, well, who are you telling that story to? I was like, my video camera. But yeah, sketchy story. He said, don't do that, it's really stupid, like I said before. But yeah, I think it's one of the cool things about here and little caves. But I just had like a 20-minute conversation with him, and I don't feel like talking anymore because I'm trying to get my on. So, peace.